Your Graces, the Archbishop here present, Your Lordships, the Bishops, Monsignors, my brother priests, and in particular the Rector and the staff of this seminary, the religious men and women of consecrated life, Christian church leaders, civil and political leaders here present, ladies and gentlemen, today is a day when we say that with Mary, we are in gratitude with God. Today, on our calendars, was chosen for us that we come here to celebrate the golden Jubilee of St. Mary's National Seminary here at Ggaba. We can rightly use the words of the psalmist in Psalm 118, verse 24, I quote, "This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it." End of quote. Like Mother Mary, we are here to sing our Magnificat to God for the many good things that He has done for us, many good things that He has done for this seminary, our alma mater. And I welcome the old students of this seminary. I am privileged and pleased to be part of this celebration of the Jubilee of St. Mary's Seminary, where I was also once a student in House 4. And later on, after my ordination, I was appointed here as a lecturer, staff member for 10 years, and I was living in House 3. At that time, I don't know today, but at that time, it was called the House of Gentlemen. I was once head captain of the students, and later on as a staff member, I was vice rector in this place. So I'm full of joy that I'm back home on this celebration. I know many others have similar stories to tell. Welcome and good celebration. Jubilee celebrations are not new in our life. In the history of the people of Israel, Jubilees were marked as occasions to thank God for the goodness and steadfastness in providing for the needs of the people of Israel. When we read Leviticus chapter 25, and in particular from verse 11 onwards, you have that message. The Jubilee year, occurring after every 7th Sabbath year, meaning every 50 years, was an economic, cultural, environmental, and a communal reset when the land and the people rested and all those who were in slavery were set free to return to their communities. So it was a moment, we can say, a special occasion for reconciliation with God and nature. Later on, Pope Leo XIII introduced a jubilee in the church of every 25 years, beginning with the year 1300 AD. The jubilee today we are celebrating means a lot to us. Today, as expressed in the readings we have just listened to, in the first reading, we join Prophet Isaiah. And in the second reading, we join St. Paul in his message in the letter to the Ephesians. And of course, in the Gospel, Mary speaking to us, singing her Magnificat. We come here today to thank God for this great occasion, and that's why I think our theme is with Mary in gratitude to God. We wish to emphasize appreciation of God's bountiful care bestowed upon St. Mary's National Seminary, Ggaba. Like the people of Israel, in the Canticle of Moses, particularly in the book of Exodus, chapter 15, read from verse 1 to 18, we want to trace God at work in the history of this seminary. God has been so good to us. God is always good to us and will always remain so. The beginning of this seminary in 1970, of course we realize that it is already 52 years later, but this is the occasion we have had to celebrate the Golden Jubilee. The beginnings in 1970 was a hard beginning. In 1971, the political and social conditions were transformed from peace to instability, insecurity, unjust imprisonment, killings, etc. You can imagine the effect this had on the staff and the students in this place. This state of affairs went on for quite a long time, I think maybe until 1979. When I say this, at that time I was still a student here. And we experienced most of that. The country later on received some peace, and there was some good development in various ways. It was until, shall we say, in the late 1980s that tranquility was restored and development in various areas were experienced. However, this institution, this seminary, continued. It never stopped. It was never closed. Some will want to remind me of the Corona times, but that's of later times. There are many successes and achievements that we need to thank God for. For example, look around us. The various buildings that now constitute St. Mary's National Seminary, Ggaba. We thank God for touching the hearts of our benefactors, the hearts of our fellow Ugandans and good friends. Many times I want to apply the word benefactor to its original sense of meaning. Benefacere, the one who does good things, that is your benefactor. So I want to thank all those people who have done good things for this seminary. Allow me to take you a little bit back, and I single out one person. We want to remember, among many, the late Bishop Vincent Macaulay, who was the chairman of the Seminary Commission at that time. He was assisted, of course, by other bishops, members of the Uganda Episcopal Conference at that time. The buildings have endured with the renovation here and there, but we have been sustained by God's hand. For us, the psalmist in verse 1, in Psalm 127 tells us that unless the Lord builds the house, the workers toil in vain. I would like also to recall the first rector of this seminary, the late Monsignor Paul Mukasa. After him, to the present time, other Ugandan priests have held this position of rector. Until today, we have Father Lazarus. They have contributed a lot to this seminary, and our presence here also means to pay tribute to them. We know they went through, even in our times, they have gone through challenges. But God has always guided them as a true shepherd. That shepherd we read about in Psalm 23. Apart from the rectors, we acknowledge the contribution of the staff members, both missionaries and local priests, the seasoned priests, who have been staff members here, lay people, religious men and women who have taught or assisted in this seminary. Many, as we have known, have assisted the seminarians in their academic, pastoral, human and spiritual formation, thus fulfilling the purpose of the seminaries as a house of holistic formation of priests. We thank all those who have contributed to this cause. As a matter of fact, we have worked as the Second Vatican Council instructed us how our houses of formation seminaries should be. Ggaba Seminary, National Seminary, has excelled a lot in academic performance and growth. We thank all those who have contributed to that. What can I say about the pioneer students and others who followed them? They deserve special mention. Things were not like we see them today. Start with the buildings, the programs that were to be followed, the number of staff members, and so on and so forth. But these men endured quite a lot, and they achieved the goal of their vocation. In times of social and political hardships, the students have worked hand in hand with the staff. I would like to recall the pioneers. Some of them, I understand, they are here and they have lived in this place, I think, for a day or two. Allow me to mention Monsignor Francis Xavier Andamira. I have also seen Father Sajabi and others. We thank you and thank you for coming. St. Mary's National Seminary, Ggaba, has fulfilled the purpose for which it was founded. To form pastors configured in the life of Jesus Christ, the Good Shepherd. As St. John, the evangelist, tells us in the Gospel according to John chapter 10, verse 11 to 15. This seminary has produced pastoral-minded priests who have the faithful, the flock entrusted to them, at heart. As of today, St. Mary's National Major Seminary, Ggaba, has produced nearly 2,000 priests, has produced 19 bishops, some of whom are here present. You can mention, you may call it a litany of good things, but I think they have been summarized in our readings whenever you've heard the word blessed. We thank the Lord for this blessing, and may his name be glorified forever. The seminary continues to support the Catholic Church in Uganda and beyond, to transform itself into a self-administering, self-propagating, and a self-supporting entity. Among the former students here who did not make it to the priesthood are and have been in the world as responsible and respectable citizens in the various parts of Uganda and beyond, in the public and private sectors. We thank them. Keep the candle burning which you received from this place. This seminary, the very purpose of its beginning, one of the reasons, was to form priests with a national character of this country, Uganda. With this in mind, St. Mary's Seminary was meant to give a national character to the church in Uganda, to build unity, to build solidarity among priests wherever they work in this country. I told you I taught here I was a student here for 4 years. I was a staff member for 10 years. I'm pleased wherever I go in any corner of Uganda, I come across, I meet either a classmate of mine, a schoolmate, or my former student. But sometimes I tell them that we are both in the same classroom, only that while they were facing the chalkboard, I was looking at them, the students. That has made us people who have come almost from the same source. This seminary has brought us together from different cultural backgrounds and formed us as a clergy for this country, Uganda, a clergy for the church in the world. We are grateful to God and we thank Him indefinitely. Brothers and sisters, talk about the good things of the seminary. We cannot stop, we cannot end. However, I would like to thank the Rector, Father Lazarus, and staff members, you the students who are here currently. Thank you for the preparations you have made for this wonderful, glorious celebration of our Golden Jubilee. I would like to thank also those who have lent a hand in the preparations of this celebration. Keep up that good spirit of good neighborliness and solidarity. We thank our benefactors once again for being with us, for feeling one with us in what we do. May God bless them all. May God bless you all. As we conclude this reflection on this great day, it is important to observe the progress made by this seminary as of today. How much the institution has delivered on its vision and goals. Whether the church today enjoys greater unity and solidarity than in the past days. We, former students of this place, should share this candle of unity, should share this kind of national character and heal the wounds wherever they may be of divisionism, of segregation, of tribalism, and so on. We have lived here as a family. Let us keep that candle burning and heal the wounds in this country and elsewhere where they may not have shared what we have now acquired, may I say, in our blood, having been in this place for those years, whenever we were a student here. We would like to thank God for all that He has done for us. As we celebrate, and I guess, for example, by tomorrow, maybe only for the students and the staff here, most of us will have gone and the party will have ended. But what remains? Let us make an audit of the journey that we have traveled together, that we have gone through in this seminary. A journey to self-propagation, a journey to self-administration, a journey of reliance. Having observed the Jubilee, we can ask ourselves, is St. Mary's National Seminary ready to start afresh in the formation for priests of today and the future? Will it sustain its relevance in the long term? Is our seminary, I don't refer to buildings, but we people living in this place and those who have gone through the walls of this institution, are we ready to rededicate this seminary to the tune of the Magnificat of our Mother Mary? No wonder why today we have a theme of the celebration, but don't forget the motto of this seminary, Fiat Voluntas Tua. These were words of Mary, expressing her answer to the message brought to her by the angel Gabriel. In answer she said, Fiat Voluntas Tua, may your will be done. That's what we are made for as we move out of this place, that we listen to God and follow what He wants us to do. We commend St. Mary's National Major Seminary to divine protection as it continues its journey of forming priests. We commend this seminary to grow in all the major components of the formation of the seminarians in this place. We commend this seminary to take as important all that is essential in the life of the church. Once again, thank you for coming. Thank you for the preparations. Thank you for this expression of oneness with the Ggaba National Seminary. May the Blessed Virgin Mary, Queen of the Apostles and of the Uganda Martyrs, intercede on our behalf for the growth and the success of the church in Uganda.